So I've just come back from my father-in-law's house. Now he has got an absolute ton of ram's horn snails in a small little tank. He's got a cute little better tank he keeps on his side. He loves his fish. Anyway, I went round there and I got a whole bat. Can you see that? I don't know if it's going to focus. Focus. There we go. Look at the amount of ram's horn snails I've got in there. And that has barely touched the surface of his tank. Look, I'll put a little clip up of his tank. You know, it's a tiny little thing. Now I keep ram's horn snails in almost all my tanks, but they never get like that. I swear it's because he overfeeds the fish. He says he doesn't, but you know what it's like. You walk past, oh, a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there, because let's face it, better fish constantly beg for food, don't they? So the only real way a population can sort of grow of snails is if there's excess food for them to sort of eat. I mean, and the only way you get that is overfeeding the fish. Anyway, if that's what he enjoys doing, who am I to tell him otherwise? So yeah, I've now got all these snails. I'm going to distribute them amongst all of these tanks and then sort of keep overfeeding the tank if you like, because I want to keep that population going just so I can keep using them in lots of my tanks. I mean, that is probably a good amount of snails to put in a large 4-foot fully planted aquarium, to be honest. So let's get them breeding, let's get lots of them. They're my favourite snails, to be honest. I absolutely love them, so yeah. And we can put a sprinkle of snails. It sounds funny, doesn't it? There we go, in with the apistogrammas. Here you go, look. That's a good number there. Oh, that's quite a lot actually, but to be fair, that's going to be the tank that's got the most food because I'm feeding up those young apistogramma as well. There we go, sprinkling that one. Sprinkle over in the little shrimp tank. There's only about 5 shrimp in here, but never mind. There we go, and then we've got a good amount. No, it's probably too much there for that whole last tank. Oh no, screw it. This can be a full-on shrimp breeding tank. Whoa! There you go, guys. Why? I don't know why I decided to use a Ziploc bag, but I have. There we go. Under you go. In. That is a lot of snails. Look at that. The apistogramma is just like, what have you just dumped in it? This is definitely not food. It's so confused. You gonna say hello to him? Yeah, he's checking them out because there wasn't any in the tank that he was in the shop, so he's probably never seen a ram's horn snail before. They are friends. You don't, no, don't eat them. Okay, he'll learn. Look, she's come over as well. Or maybe I can eat them. No, nobody eat the snails, please. Oh look, they're starting to stand up now. Look, oh good. Should be absolutely fine. Oh no, please don't. What are you doing? Yeah, okay, yeah, you're learning. No, she's not learned yet though. Snails are friends, guys. They're friends. Oh, maybe this wasn't a good idea. No, they're going to find out straight away. They just don't know what they are. And let's face it, the snails have got a good defence, haven't they? Moving across, straight away, look. These guys are standing up as well. They'll get to work. And then, yep, so are those. Right, I'm just going to power feed these tanks. Not too much in this one because I don't want to sort of put a load of ammonia into the water. But yeah, just give the food for the snails. That's what's going to make them populate. Well, populate even more. And the apistos will be happy as well, won't they? Look, because now they've got even more food. You've had double food today, guys. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. No problem at all. My treat. Right, I need to do a massive update and maintenance session on the ecosystem aquarium behind me. It's come along massively since it was first set up. It looks great, but it's very dark, overgrown, plants are twisted. The bottom parts of the plants have completely died off as well because they're not receiving any light. I want to cut it right back, do a lot of replanting and just get it looking absolutely awesome again. I think I need to bring the light down lower as well. That tank could take a lot more light, I think, anyway. So yeah, look, here's where we're at. It looks good, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. Fish are doing great, they seem to love the environment, but it doesn't mean they won't love it if we make it a little bit more visually pleasing. Like this mass up here of plants is just like a spiral where they've all twisted together because of the flow of this, what is it? It's a power head / internal filter. Basically, it's a power head with like sponges underneath, so an internal filter. Duckweed is starting to cover this whole surface over here. We're okay over this side, but I'm going to clear it out a little bit. And if you look, you can see all the little bits of rotala just sort of starting to grow out the top as well. So I used to be a massive advocate for duckweed. Look at me now, just scooping it all out. Oh, the stuff. It just gets everywhere, clogs everything up, grows way too quickly. All about the salvinia for me now. And to be honest, I don't even remember putting it in this tank. I'll go through this little net in a second and just make sure I haven't got any fish, but to be honest, they're not that stupid. Once they feel the surface breaking, they tend to get out of the way pretty quickly. And I'm trying to scoop as close to the surface as possible as well. I've done this many times now, to be honest, that I don't usually catch any of the fry, so we're all good. I'm talking about the end of fry here, by the way. Right, that is a good amount of it out, as much as I can be bothered for now anyway. So you see, look, removing all that duckweed, still super dark. We need to cut back this whole section. Well, we need to cut it all back, but I'm going to start here because it's a big chunk of work. That has opened it up, hasn't it? Look. Right, I've only just made 3 cuts there. Look at how many plants I've managed to take out. I don't even think I want to put any of them back, to be honest, because those ones I've just cut are all going to grow again in no time. They'll grow a lot thicker though, so it would look really good. I think I'm just going to cut everything right back and just let it do its own thing again. To be honest, apart from these Rotala greens here, they're so good. I want to trim those and replant those ones, but everything else, just let it do its thing. It will grow back thicker and a lot better. Oh, actually, saying that, it's an ecosystem tank, isn't it? It needs masses of plants. That's the point of it. The plants are doing the majority of the work in this tank because there's basically no filter. I mean, there's so little media in there. It's just pushing water around, essentially. So, yeah, I'm going to have to replant everything. But what I'm going to do is replant it so it stays down low. So I'll probably trim off the bottom of, say, look, those stems there, I've just trimmed as well. I'll trim off a section of them and then just replant them. Actually, with the length where I've cut, they should just go about level. So there's going to be just the same plant. Well, actually, it's going to be double the amount of plants in no time at all. But they're all going to be of equal length and easy to trim back. This one here, I'm taking it right back down. So yeah, it's going to look completely different, but be just as good as it was before. And then after that, I'm going to do a little bit of water testing to show you guys. I'm fingers crossed, there's absolutely no need for a water change in this tank at all. Woo! I don't know how long that looked like it took on camera in the time lapse, but I've been working so hard for such a long time just to get that section almost done. I mean, it needs tidying up some of the longer ones and that, but already looking better, isn't it? You can actually see the beautiful wood now, manzanita wood that is. We've still got this side to do, but this should be easier because it's actually only a couple of... Oh, who am I kidding? It's going to take just as long. That is a thick mass of plants right there, isn't it? Beautiful though, but you know, we need to do something about it. Already looking good though, loving it. So this tank was actually set up 5 months ago. So I did a couple of little water changes to start with, just whilst it was settling in. I've not done a single one since, apart from top-ups, and as you can see, I've not really been keeping up with that either. So has it worked? Right, so there's no need to test for ammonia. There's not going to be any ammonia in here. It's 5 months old, fish are perfectly healthy. Nitrite, nitrate, I suppose we'll test both of those. If they're of a good, I mean, I'd expect to see no nitrite, to be honest, but if the nitrates are at a reasonable level for a planted tank, then we know it's been a success, don't we? Right, I've got my trusty API test kit. Mine's filthy because I use it very often. Okay, a little water sample. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely nailed it first time. Come on. Nitrite, where's the nitrite? Nitrite, there we go. Always remember, guys, with the testing kits, any liquid testing kits, bang them, because there's all stuff at the bottom that gets hard. Every time, bang them and shake them hard for like 30 seconds. Okay, then we're ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull away. Nice good shake. Leave it there. Right, next up, nitrate. Now, I'm not going to be able to nail this one as well, am I? Surely not. No. Nowhere near. We're over, little drop out. I've got a syringe to fill this up, but it's easier sometimes with open top tanks. Just to dip it in like that. There we go, perfect. Nitrite so far staying perfectly zero, but it's good to give a good 15 minutes or so. Again, same for these bottles. There's bottle 1, and there's bottle 2 of the nitrates. Bang, bang, bang. Sorry, fishies, they're okay. And massive shaker. Oh, these are nearly empty actually. I've been testing a lot recently, just making sure I've been getting stuff right. Okay, bottle number 1. 10 drops of this. Oh, 1, 2. And then 10 drops for number 2 as well. Oh, it feels like it takes forever. And then a nice big shake. And we leave and we wait. And the results are in. So we are barely registering any nitrates at all. Like, very minute amounts. Now I know everything's all good because on my other tanks, they are registering nitrates, the right amount that I'd want. I'd want to see about 20 to 30 ppm on a very planted tank. A very planted tank, does that make sense? Yeah. So I consider this a densely planted tank, wouldn't you? I mean, so I haven't got enough nitrates in there for my liking. I mean, the plants are growing, they're just not thriving. We want our plants to thrive. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to top the water up first of all. I'm going to bring the lighting down and then I'm going to start adding in some nitrates. And also, if you remember at the start of the video, I said I was going to suck out this sort of mulm that's down here. I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? It's an ecosystem. That is part of the ecosystem. That organic matter has enabled a balance. Maybe take it out or change everything and upset it. Either way, it's sort of natural to this tank. I don't want to influence it too much. I don't want to move stuff. I just want to cut back plants where needed and then let it carry on doing its thing. I'm already enjoying it a lot more having opened up the space like that as well. Right, water up, light down. I'm going to try it just with this light comes with little brackets that you can attach to the edge of the glass. I'm going to give that a go and see how that looks. But it might not get quite the same coverage. You might need 2 of those to get good coverage. So see how that works. If not, we can just raise it down a little bit on the ropes. Ropes? No, that's fishing line. Thing is, I'll have to redo it all again to do that, and it sounds like so much hassle rather than just putting it on the little sticks. Let's just give it a go. Right, I think that is looking a lot better with that light down lower, but I'm only actually lighting. I don't know if the camera can show you, but look, I've pushed it to the back so it lights the back a bit more. I think I can put another light on. I've got another one. I'm just going to hook it up, see what it looks like. It might be too bright, but if I put another one on and add some salvinia as well, it's going to give a really good sort of ecosystem effect. I love how the greens are really popping now with the light a lot closer. I just feel like we can get a little bit more light on the tank. Let's give it a go, see what it looks like. Oh, I just see some more egg. Oh, there's my neurites now. Hello, buddy. It's just a single one in here, but it keeps all the rocks and all the wood looking great. You can see some of these dotted like eggs around. That's the eggs from the neurites now, but they won't make new snails. They kind of just stay on there and make the place look ugly, but they eventually get picked off by the bristlenose plecos. Where are they? Oh, I'm just straight away, I just keep being drawn to the apistogrammas in this tank, which haven't bred yet. Maybe they're just not a compatible pair, I don't know. Or maybe they have, and the endlers have picked off all the babies. It's quite possible, to be honest, because the babies of these guys are absolutely tiny. Well, the babies of any of the fish are tiny, aren't they? But anyway, let's get that second light on and see how it's looking. So yeah, down here on this bottom section, look, for where I keep my plants, just like these are new ones that I've bought, so I just put them in like an inch of water, and they just carry on growing, like a greenhouse with a lid. Anyway, I've got that same light on the top. I've also got another light I can put there that's like not matching. So this one is the same as the one we've already got on the ecosystem. So I'll whip that off. I can just put another one on there. That would be absolutely fine for these plants, you see. But that one will be perfect to use. Right then, the moment of truth. Has adding the second light made a difference? Not just that, not only has it made a difference, has it improved the look of the tank? That's the main thing we're interested in. Because that back area looks really well lit now. Let's just get on with it. Look, plug it in. Boom. Oh yes, look at that. Look at that, that's like high-tech lighting. I've required 2 budget lights to make high-tech lighting, but the price of those 2 budget lights is like £80 or like 80, 90 pounds, something like that, about $100, $110, similar euros, I think, I don't know. But yeah, it's still cheaper than one of the high-tech ones. Granted, it doesn't look as good, and it hasn't got RGB LEDs, it's just pure white. But when you're doing a green-only tank, I actually think that just pure white light looks better. Look at how good that trident fern looks. There's a couple of bad bits in there I need to prune out, but it's growing lovely, isn't it? Oh, I can't wait to see how this tank progresses now. Oh, look at that too. Did you see that? Coolie loaches, where are you going? Remember we put the coolie loaches, there was 2 there actually, I think. Yeah, so I think there's about 3 or 4 coolie loaches in here as well. I've got the ISO way too low. Hang on, let me just match. I'm gonna match ISO to, that's how I'm seeing the tank right now. So that is the level of brightness. Looking good, isn't it? Oh, you're so much better looking in this light. And look, and the Endler also looking fantastic. This was such a good idea. I think what I'm going to do in future, if I use these strip lights again, I'm just going to double up each time. It still works out cheap, doesn't it? So why the hell not? Like I was saying, look, there's that trident fern. Look how good it looks. Granted, it didn't get looking this good with these double lights, but the fact that it's got them now means it should progress, continuing to look that colour. I mean, that looks amazing. We've got that little bad bit there. I can prune that out. What I've tried to do with the flow to stop this whole area over here just getting bombarded. Look, it's not moving too much. There's a slight gentle waviness to it. That's, oh look, our Pistocramus has come all, I don't often see him over here actually. That's quite nice to see. Just exploring the new tank, buddy, are you? So yeah, what I've done with the flow to stop it just completely twisting up all of those plants back there again is I've put this little piece of wood in the way of the outlet, which means that it's just sort of dispersing the flow rather than just absolutely, because before this would have been hammered like that, whereas now look, it's just a gentle sort of flick. Oh my goodness, this is looking so good. Plants like the Limnophilia you can see in the background, like that one there, look, there you go, right in the middle. That Limnophilia now will go super green. It will grow very big and thick, and oh, it's going to look so good. I can't wait for this tank to progress. Sometimes just doing like something like that to an older tank can just really refresh everything. But because we've added just a big chunk of light and we've done a huge trim back, the plant will probably suffer an algae bloom unless we sort of dial it in a little bit. So what I'm going to do just for the time being is add some of the Salvinia to the top. I've got loads over here actually, follow me. So over here, look, in the Neon Tetra tank, there we go. Look what's happened. That has happened over the space of about 4 days. Something about the blue LEDs in this strip. Hang on, I don't know if I can pick up the blue ones. Anyway, every sort of few inches there's blue LEDs, and the Salvinia, just for whatever reason, seems to absolutely love the blue LEDs and grows so fast. So what I'm going to do is just take out probably a good half of that, put that in our new sort of set, well, it's not a new setup, but the ecosystem with the new lighting. It will give a nice sort of, oh, look at these guys. I'll feed you in a second. I need to give you some light. The plants are all kind of low light plants, so they're not suffering at all. That's not how I'm seeing it. Hang on, how am I seeing it? I like to do this match for you guys so you actually know. Well, that's how the tank is at the moment. So I need to take some of this out, just get a bit more light in there. And this actually works out perfect because this is my next tank to maintain actually. So if I just take a load of this out, it's halfway doing the job already, isn't it? Need to be careful when I'm doing this so I'm not picking up any of the Amanos. Not that it will matter, because obviously they'll be fine in the new tank, but I don't want to remove them from this tank because they're doing such a good job on any algae in there. And to be honest, the algae is going to really struggle to grow, isn't it, when we've got this amount of floating plants stopping the light and sucking up all the nutrients. Right, I've got quite a lot here. This will multiply itself in no time at all. I don't even need to take half. I've barely made a dent in that. And then of course we can put all of these in here, can't we? Now the benefit of Salvinia versus the duckweed is that this is just so much easier to pick out when you get like loads of it. You saw how easy it was for me to remove it then from the other tank, whereas the duckweed seems to just go underwater, get caught on everything. Oh, it's just an absolute nightmare. But I do love floating plants, but the right kind. And for me, this is the right kind. It propagates so fast. It looks beautiful as well, floating on the surface. It can take a little bit of flow as well, not too much, but you know, a gentle pushing around, not going to affect things. And it just doesn't make so much of a mess, in my opinion. So when I come to the point of thinking, you know, we've got too much in there, it's so easy just to scoop it. Oh, we've got a little bit of mess here. Hang on, some old leaves. Got them. Yeah, so when it comes to the point of thinking there's enough grown in there, just literally just scoop it out again. It takes no time at all, and it just stays looking good, in my opinion. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to hit the subscribe and the bell button if you haven't already, so you can continue on the story of MD fish tanks. I mean, there's loads more to come, especially from this tank. I mean, I thought it was done, but it's nowhere near done. We can get it looking insane. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.